When I was 21, I think, I quit college. And no, it wasn't because it was too hard or I couldn't handle the coursework. I mean, okay, I was failing plenty of exams, but that was still not the main reason. I quit because I knew that if I wanted to graduate, sooner or later I would have to do an internship and I would have to work with people in an actual workplace. And that terrified me. So I just held myself back from ever really trying my hardest, just so that I could avoid having a successful career as a university student. Yeah, I was more scared of succeeding than I was of failing, which of course in the end made me fail and drop out. Hey there, I'm Paolo. I make videos about building confidence, overcoming self-sabotage, and taking action on your goals. So, look, what I just said wasn't just about internships. This is something I've done my whole life, up until at least my mid 20s. And when I was still in university, there was something else that terrified me: group projects, which I avoided at all costs. I knew they were important, they were necessary if I wanted to succeed and get good grades, but I just couldn't. So I chose to fail assignment after assignment just because I was too scared. And after I quit my studies, I was lost for some time until I decided to start a blog. Figured I'd work for myself, build something online. But I think you already know what happened. And if you don't, you can probably guess. For more than 6 years, I avoided success. Like, I would spend all my time researching the perfect content plan or redesigning my website over and over and starting new websites under new domains with new strategies. And every New Year's Eve, I would say, this year I'm definitely going to make it. But then, if you took a look at my list of resolutions, you would see that I only included the same safe tasks that I already knew and already knew didn't work. And maybe at the time I didn't really understand, but now I can clearly see that I was worried that if I succeeded, I would have to deal with taxes, hire people to help me, and just deal with real business problems. But as long as I only had a handful of visitors and zero income, then it meant zero business problems. Basically, I was more comfortable with the failures I already knew than the successes I didn't know. Now, why would a person act like that? Well, because success isn't just about achieving a goal, it's about becoming a different person. And your brain doesn't like that. Your brain wants you to always do the same things every day because that's predictable, that's safe, while change is a threat. That's how millions of people every day give up on their goals and passions because they think, I'm not the kind of person who can, I don't know, learn an instrument or become good with numbers or start an online business or whatever you can think of. Like when I started this channel earlier this year, I also felt the same resistance. I felt that I'm not the kind of person who can talk on camera. Because it's never the goal itself that scares us. It's the things we have to do and the kind of person we have to become in order to achieve it. This reminds me of something I talked about before, how we like to ask ourselves questions but don't want to answer them. Like, how can I make friends when I'm so shy? Or how can I start a business when I don't have a lot of money? Or how can I be happy when life is so hard? We do that whenever we are not really looking for solutions, but only for permission to stay stuck where we are. And fear of success works basically the same way. Like, you don't want to answer your questions because actually answering them, requires you to get out of your comfort zone. And you avoid success because success means you have to get out of your comfort zone. Both are just ways to justify staying where it's safe, even if it's miserable there. So, if you want to stop this, start asking yourself, do I care about running away from my fears more than I care about actually achieving my goals? The answer should be pretty easy. But there's one thing you must remember because it's really easy to forget. Success doesn't eliminate problems. It just gives you newer and hopefully better ones. So right now you might be struggling with no money, no opportunities, no freedom. But if you succeed, you're going to struggle with managing money, with choosing one option out of many different interesting ones, and with maintaining that level of success. Those are better problems. I mean, they can feel uncomfortable and they still require you to become a different kind of person. But they give you a better kind of struggle, right? So basically, it comes down to this. You can stay safe doing the same things that don't work and telling yourself the same stories, or you can choose to take action and become the kind of person that will achieve your goals, even if it's uncomfortable. Your choice. Thank you for watching. And if you're interested in building real confidence, the kind of confidence that success requires, I made a free guide that will help you do that, even or especially if you're starting from zero. Link in the description. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.